The Hoka Torrent 2. How does it compare to the Speed Goat? Well, that's what we're going to find out. Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Dave. You can call me D2, and today we're reviewing the Hoka Torrent 2. Now, this is a shoe that I've been wanting to try for quite some time. As a backstory, I have run in the Hoka Speed Goat. I've run in the Speed Instinct, and this shoe is probably closer to the Speed Instinct, and it was one of my favorites, and I did review this on this channel in the past, so you can go and check that out. One of the things I liked about the Speed Instinct was that it was lightweight, and it just had a great fit. The Torrent 2 is sort of kind of like the next incarnation of that. I believe it is that lightweight type of shoe. It does feel kind of quick and nimble. I do believe that the fit is more generous on this versus the Speed Instinct, and primarily in the toe box. And that's where I think it's one of the biggest difference, and one of the issues I had with that particular shoe is that it wore out quickly on the side of the toes because my pinky toe kept trying to poke out, and over time the material in the upper got thinner and thinner, and a hole did develop after a couple hundred miles, probably about 200 miles. So this does have a little bit more generous room in the toe box. Have had no issues, no hot spots at all. The fit is true to size. I wear a size 10, and this is a size 10. I've got plenty of room, in length there, so no issues there with any black toenails or any issues there. Like I said, the upper is a kind of a one-piece engineered mesh. It does have this protective film along the side that goes all the way around, all the way even to the back. Now that does protect the shoe from, that upper from any type of abrasions, but also keeps the inside, from wearing out in those spots where, especially where, you would typically kind of flex and at that point of toe off, where you might get a little bit of abrasion there. So far, it's held up really well. I've got over 50 miles in this particular shoe. So moving from the toe box, let's go here to the midsole, the vamp area, of the shoe. So through here, it's got a lot of volume. So if you got if you've got a foot that is sort of kind of wider in that middle part of the foot, or you've got a high arch or high instep, the shoe is going to really accommodate your shape of your foot. I tend to have a little bit more narrower. So for me, as you can probably see through here, I do have them kind of laced a little bit kind of tighter in order to kind of secure that midfoot area. And it took me a couple runs, probably about 3 or 4 runs before I got the fit dialed in the way I like it. Overall, it's held up really well. Even over, they've got the protective film over by the lacing holes. So that's good. Upper seems to be holding up really, really well. Now, as we move further up, the only sort of kind of, thing that I can really critique, are the laces. And you can see they are rather long, because when I lace them up, they tend to hit the bottom of that midsole through here, And I'd say it's not that I've got it skewed one way or the other. It's on both sides. So they both kind of tend to, be a little bit long, and it hasn't been really an issue. The way I tie my shoelaces, which is using a double slip knot, and it's different than double knotting them, because double knots typically will loosen up over time and they will get untied. Double slip knots, on the other hand, I've never had shoelace go untied. As a matter of fact, I need to make a video to show you guys how to do a double slip knot so that you don't ever have to, untie your shoelaces never go untied, and that won't become an issue. So, as I said, no issue as far as them getting untied, but you do kind of feel them kind of hitting and kind of flopping around the laces a bit when you're moving at a quicker pace. I said, not a big deal for me. The benefit of that is for those that maybe have a narrower heel and you want to secure that heel a little bit better and make it just a little bit tighter, you do have the option with these additional holes here to go back further and do that runner's knot, and that's where the extra lacing does benefit. But that being said, I still think that you could go a little bit shorter on that. Like I said, it's a minor little critique on this particular shoe, but overall, no issues with the heel slipping. As far as the cushioning, it is lower to the ground than the Hoka Speed Goat. So it's looks more like a traditional trail running shoe where it's lower to the ground. And so it drops a significant amount of weight. I mean, it's 1.5 ounces lighter than the Speed Goat. Now, that means that you're sacrificing something for that reduced weight. The cushioning in the Torrent is going to be a little bit more responsive, and it's going to feel lighter and quicker because of that. The Speed Goat, on the other hand, tends to be a bit more of a plush feeling type of shoe where, it's sort of kind of like that lazy boy, very comfortable type of shoe where, the Torrent tends to be that quicker, nimble type of shoe. And that's sort of kind of what you're sacrificing. Like I said, it's not, anything that's really kind of hugely noticeable. You'd probably have to try them on side by side. The benefit of this, of course, is that it does become that lightweight, nimble type of racing type of shoe, which if you're looking for that's awesome. Then we move down into the outsole. The outsole, it's kind of cool that it has this sort of kind of marble type of pattern, or maybe it's a camo type pattern. I'm not sure. And it's primarily for aesthetics, but I do like the way it sort of kind of breaks up the two-tone color of this shoe. But it is grippy. I had no issues running on wet terrain, dry terrain, on all sorts of different type of terrain. It's pretty good. The lugs aren't hugely aggressive. I wouldn't say that they're very long, but it does a good job in gripping the trails. And, they don't really kind of, in the wet conditions I ran, it didn't really kind of cake up and have a lot of mud in between the lugs. So it shed that mud pretty well. Now, I did do a trail race. I did our Big Peach Farm to Trails race and compared that to the race I did 2 years ago. And I was able to take about 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes off my time. So I set a PR on that course from 2 years ago, and that was on the Speed Goat versus the Torrent 2. And while my training may have improved slightly, I don't know that it improved significantly to where it would cause a 2-minute, PR. It's quite possible the shoe had something to do with it. It's quite possible that maybe I just trained smarter and better, and it was more of quality over quantity, because I can't imagine, I don't recall my training really ramping up that much this year versus 2 years ago. So I do think that the lightweight of the shoe contributed to it. So I throw that out there for you to consider. Overall, it does feel like it's a flexible type of shoe. It does twist a bit, where I feel like the Speed Goat tends to be because it's got a thicker midsole, does tend to be a little bit stiffer overall. But the Torrent still provides good amount of protection, even though that cushioning doesn't plush. It does dampen a lot of that impact, so there's no need to really worry about your feet hurting over time. Now, overall, why would you choose a Speed Goat or the Torrent? For me, if you're going shorter distances or you're looking for a lightweight type of trail shoe, or you're racing and you want that advantage of carrying less weight on your feet, then the Torrent 2 would probably be a good option for you. The Speed Goat would probably be something I would recommend for someone that's starting out, maybe doing their a 50K, because you're going to want that additional cushioning, that plush over those several hours out on a trail, and depending on the conditions, you're going to be out there for me, it's anywhere from 7 to maybe 8 hours, maybe even as much as 9 or 10, depending on how technical the course is. So having that extra bit of cushioning could be something that you're looking for. However, if I train in this shoe leading up to a 50K, and I got used to that responsive feel, and I didn't find the cushioning lacking, then I might get a speed advantage over using a shoe like this, because it is quite a bit lightweight in comparison to the Speed Goat. So would that offer me over a course of almost 32 miles an advantage because I'm carrying less weight. It may be reducing fatigue. It's quite possible. So you'd have to kind of judge which is your preference if you're going long distance. Going for that lighter weight, maybe quicker feeling, and maybe getting an advantage of that over your time, or going with something that maybe provides a little bit more comfort that will keep your legs feeling a little bit fresher over the long haul. Like I said, depends on the type of runner that you are. So overall, I really love the Hoka Torrent 2. It's a shoe I would say, I would definitely recommend. If you've watched this far, I hope you subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up. I would love to hear your comments below. And, what do you think about the Hoka Torrent 2 or the Speed Goat? What's your preferred trail running shoe? If you have any suggestion of future models that we should review, go ahead and drop that down in the comments below. Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to go to bigpeachrunningco.com and check out these shoes online through our store, or visit any of our 8 locations throughout the metro Atlanta area. And remember, may your best miles be those covered on foot. Other gear that I think you're going to find very interesting, and I'm excited to share with you. So and today we're reviewing the Hoka Torrent Speed